I found out through a coworker's Instagram that my team had a weekend strategy retreat. I wasn't invited. I didn't say a word, just forwarded the post to HR with a screenshot of my outstanding project metrics. Monday morning, the VP walked into our office and asked why the top performer was left out. The room went silent. I work in marketing at a mid-sized tech company. I'm not new. I've been there 4 years. I'm not loud or flashy. I just do my job. I hit my deadlines, stay late when I need to, and usually end up being the one who bails the team out when something falls through. I don't complain about it. I just do the work. This past year, I led 2 major campaigns that brought in serious results. One went viral, the other doubled our lead numbers in a slow quarter. My name was on both decks, but the team leads got the credit. That's fine. That's how it always is. I figured people upstairs noticed anyway based on the raises and reviews. I've never been close with most of the team. I'm friendly, but I keep my distance. There's a clique in our department, maybe 6 or 7 people who always eat lunch together, hang out after hours, send each other memes on Slack all day. I'm not in that circle. They mostly ignore me unless they need something from my end. It's always been like that. Then one Friday night, I was scrolling through Instagram before bed. One of the junior staff had just posted a bunch of stories. They were at a cabin. Drinks, whiteboards, matching sweatshirts. Hashtags like hashtag strategy weekend, hashtag marketing offsite, hashtag dream team. I stared at it for a while, thinking maybe it was just a few of them hanging out. But as I clicked through, I saw more. The whole team was there. All of them, including our director. Every single person from our weekly calls. Except me. No email. No Slack. Nothing. They planned a whole weekend retreat. Called it strategic. Brought notebooks and brand decks. And left me out like I didn't exist. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat there in bed with my phone, watching those stories expire one by one. I kept wondering if I'd missed something. I checked my calendar invites, my email, my DMs. Nothing. Total silence. The next morning, I screenshotted a few of the posts and saved them to my phone. Then I pulled up our quarterly metrics dashboard, the one I update every Friday. I highlighted my numbers, which were still at the top, and added them under the screenshots. Then I wrote one sentence in email. Not sure if this was an official company event, but I wasn't invited. I sent it directly to HR. That's it. No drama. No accusations. I didn't even copy my manager. I didn't hear anything all weekend. I didn't expect to. But Monday morning felt different the moment I walked in. The energy was strange. People were quiet. Slack was dead. Around 9:15, our VP, who usually doesn't even come to our floor, walked into the open plan area holding a printed piece of paper. I couldn't see what it was, but I knew. He asked a simple question. Can someone explain why the top performer on this team wasn't invited to a strategy retreat? That's all he said. No one answered. You could hear the air conditioner hum. People looked down. One of the leads fumbled with his coffee. No one said my name. No one looked at me. I didn't say a word either. I just sat there. Finally seen. After the VP left, the silence stayed. People typed slower. Some got up for coffee they didn't drink. No one looked at me. No one said anything. Around noon, our team lead called for an impromptu sync. We never have meetings on Mondays. But we all showed up, sat around the glass conference table still quiet. She didn't bring an agenda. Just sat with her laptop open, but never typed. She started talking fast. Said the weekend wasn't officially sanctioned. That it was a casual team-building thing. Just friends hanging out. She said she didn't think I'd be interested because I always seemed focused on my work. She said it wasn't personal. She kept using the word organic. Then she asked if I had anything to say. I said no. I didn't trust myself to talk. That meeting ended with no apology, no responsibility, just a bunch of vague words. When we walked out, one of the junior staff whispered something to another and they laughed. I heard it. They weren't even trying to hide it. That week, things shifted. Suddenly, I stopped getting included in client calls. Files I usually worked on were sent to someone else. My weekly task list shrank. Projects I had built from scratch were quietly reassigned. I asked once, and they said they were rebalancing workload. But I could see it clearly. I was being frozen out. I went from being the person who ran point on major campaigns to just getting data pulls and formatting slides. No one invited me to stand-ups. No one replied in Slack unless I tagged them twice. Even the intern stopped asking me questions. Then, at our next all hands, my name wasn't mentioned when the team lead shared results. My metrics were still top, but my projects were listed under team success without names. It was like I was disappearing. I thought about going back to HR, but I knew how it would look. I'd already stirred the pot once. I could feel the subtle retaliation, just quiet enough to avoid obvious blame, but sharp enough to make me question everything. A week later, someone left a comment on a shared doc I owned. It said, "Can someone double-check this? I think name might have missed something again." Again, I hadn't missed anything. In fact, I was the only one who had updated that file properly. I replied with the correct data and a screenshot, but no one acknowledged it. A pattern was forming. Little things. Side comments. Tasks removed. Praise given elsewhere. My confidence started slipping. I second-guessed everything I did. Then came the real hit. An internal email went out about a new leadership development cohort, a hand-picked group being mentored by senior leadership. My name wasn't on the list. 3 people from my team were. One of them had joined only 6 months ago. The junior staff member who posted the Instagram stories? They were in, too. I sat at my desk and stared at the email for a long time. I didn't cry. I didn't quit. But something changed in me that day. I knew then they were pushing me out, slow, quiet, and careful. They wanted me to leave on my own. But I wasn't going anywhere. Not yet. The thing about being quiet is that people forget you're paying attention. I started documenting everything. Not in a paranoid way. Just facts. Dates. Missed messages. Screenshots of projects reassigned without explanation. Slack threads where I was left out. Emails where someone else took credit for work that had my fingerprints all over it. I saved it all. I made a private folder on my personal cloud drive and named it Archive. Every day, I added to it. Then one day, I caught something that changed everything. We were reviewing a quarterly performance deck that the director had sent up to the exec team. It was a PDF, final version. Everyone got a copy in a group email. I opened it on a whim, not expecting much. But when I got to the campaign performance slides I had built, branded, tested, and presented myself 2 months earlier, I froze. They had removed my name. The layout was mine. The data pull format was mine. But the slide credits listed the junior staff member, the same one who posted the retreat, and one of the team leads. That wasn't just disrespect. That was theft. I didn't respond right away. I didn't forward it. I printed it. I compared it to my original in our shared drive. Dates, version numbers, metadata. I made a full side-by-side doc showing the proof. I saved it to Archive. 2 days later, during our regular sync, the director made a joke about me being heads down all the time. Someone laughed. Then she asked if I was still interested in staying in marketing long-term. Just casually, like it didn't mean anything. I realized then they were building a case. They wanted to frame me as disengaged, isolate me, erase my impact slowly, make it seem like I was fading, then cut me loose. That's why they kept stealing credit, because they were rewriting the past. I stopped trusting anyone. Then something else happened. One afternoon, I got a message from Mia, someone from finance. We'd never talked outside of work tasks, but she was sharp and always kind in meetings. She asked if we could chat privately. I said yes. We met in the break room, away from laptops. She said, "I don't want to get in the middle of anything, but I thought you should know your name was completely left out of the Q3 bonus breakdown. You qualified, easily, but the list they sent upstairs doesn't include you." I stared at her. I asked nothing. I just nodded. She said, "I didn't say anything. You didn't hear it from me. Then she walked out. That night, I didn't sleep again. I stayed up comparing emails, bonus requirements, calendar dates. Everything checked out. I had hit every target. I should have qualified. No one had told me otherwise. They didn't just leave me out of a retreat. They were trying to erase my record, bonuses, credit, even HR praise, slowly, carefully, like I had never existed at all. That's when I decided I needed to stop surviving it quietly. I had to make them feel it. The bonus was the final line they crossed. They weren't just isolating me anymore. They were stealing money I had earned. I kept quiet, but I moved fast. I met with HR again, this time off the record. I asked for a copy of the official Q3 bonus eligibility criteria, just to clarify some confusion. I was polite, calm. They sent it over. I qualified in every category clearly, exceeded in 2 of them. But there was no record of my name being submitted from my department. It had been removed before it got to HR. That same week, I noticed something strange in our project management tool. A new folder was made under Shared Creative Assets. It was labeled 2025 Template Materials. I wasn't given access, but the permissions were left open for a few hours one night. I clicked through out of curiosity. They were using my deck formats, my layout builds, even my color coding system for campaign stages. But again, no mention of me. The files were renamed and tagged under someone else's initials. It was my work, just gutted and repainted. They were building a future without me, using what I made. So I started preparing my own. One Saturday morning, I sent out anonymous messages through my personal email to 2 journalists who covered toxic workplaces in tech. I attached redacted proof, no company name, no personal details, just screenshots showing the bonus omission, the project credit theft, the offsite posts, and my documented performance stats. I told them I wasn't ready to go public, but I had receipts. Real ones. One replied the next day. She said, "This isn't rare, but the paper trail you have is unusually strong. If you ever decide to go forward, I'll help protect your identity." I saved her email. That alone gave me a strange kind of calm. Meanwhile, I started reaching out to former coworkers who had left over the last 2 years. I wanted to know if anyone else had gone through something similar. One person, Daniel, who left a year ago, responded quickly. We scheduled a video call. He looked tired but relieved to talk. I didn't even have to explain much. He said they did it to me, too. I got left out of a conference after leading the prep. A month later, they tried to performance manage me out. No one backed me. So I left. I asked if he had any records. He said, some. Not enough to fight it back then. We stayed in touch. Little by little, I started building something real, something I could take above their heads if I needed to. Not just for revenge, but to make sure they couldn't keep doing this. Because I was starting to realize it wasn't just me. I was just the one who stayed quiet the longest. Then, unexpectedly, the company announced that our VP was stepping down for personal reasons. No warning, no explanation. A new interim VP was named, a woman from our NYC office. I didn't know her, but on her first day, she sent out a welcome message to the whole division. The tone was sharp, clear. It said, "We are re-evaluating how credit, compensation, and culture are handled across teams. If you have concerns, I want to hear them. Directly. No forms. No middle managers. Just her email." I stared at it for a long time. I didn't click it. Not yet. But I knew what I was going to do next. I waited 2 days. Not because I was unsure. I just needed to be ready. I cleaned up my files, organized the proof, and wrote a short, clear email to the new interim VP. I didn't rant. I didn't whine. I told her I had serious concerns about how work was being credited and how decisions about bonuses and career growth were being handled inside my team. I attached the documents I'd been keeping for months. The data, the emails, the slide comparisons, the bonus criteria, the Slack messages, all of it. I clicked send at 8:01 a.m. on a Wednesday. By 11:30, I was called into a meeting. HR was there. So was the new VP. The call was short. She thanked me for the details. She said it confirmed some things she had already started to hear. She didn't say what would happen next, but her tone was serious. Focused. The next 2 weeks were quiet, tense. Then things started to move. First, the junior staffer who had posted the offsite Instagram stories was let go. No announcement, just gone. Their name disappeared from Slack overnight. People whispered, but no one said much out loud. Then, the team lead who'd taken credit for my campaign decks was demoted. Not fired, but stripped of management duties. Sent back to individual contributor. He tried to play it off like a lateral move, but everyone knew. Next came the director. She didn't even show up to our weekly meeting. A short email came later saying she was no longer with the company. That was it. Her calendar vanished. Her access revoked. I later heard through someone in admin that she had tried to deny everything until the new VP showed her the receipts. My screenshots, my timelines, my side-by-side files, all of it laid out clearly. After that, things flipped fast. I was given a new role, senior strategist, with a raise that retroactively included the bonus I was denied, plus a formal apology from HR. Not public, of course, but direct, in writing. The new VP asked if I wanted to switch teams or stay. I said I wanted to stay. Not out of pride. I just wanted to see it finished. At the next all hands, my name was called first. Not just mentioned, called out clearly for campaign results, process improvements, and performance. I didn't smile. I didn't nod. I just listened. Later that day, I got a message from someone in another department. It said, "Thank you. You don't know how many people you helped by speaking up." I didn't reply. I just saved it. In the months that followed, the culture changed. New hires came in. Some people left quietly. Some tried to be nice to me again. I didn't give them much, just politeness. I wasn't cruel, but I remembered. I still have the folder archive. I don't look at it much now, but I keep it, not for revenge anymore, just as proof that I wasn't crazy. That what happened was real. That staying quiet doesn't mean staying powerless. They tried to erase me, but I became the one who erased them instead.